Mr. Unknown, round two, here we go. Now what's up, y'all? Back at it again.
What's good, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Unknown, and it's interview time. So let's just stop beating around the bush. Let's get down All to right. it. A question came up. They wanted to know how did I get the name Mr. Unknown? A lot of you guys may think that you know why I got this name, but it's a crazy story. And for the first time anywhere, I get to tell it with you guys. So here it goes. For the longest, we could not come up with a name to go by. So, man, we played around with all kind of names. Some names I'm too ashamed to sit here and tell you guys. One in particular was called Preacher. Don't ask me why. Really, don't ask me why. But what ended up happening was my late brother Jason Barton. Uh, we were kicking it in Charlotte. And, we had just got involved with some guys at a studio at the time. It was called Sound Design, and Sound Design was right across from Panther Stadium. And we went there one night, and I had my little CD with me, and there was a guy who worked there, very well-known producer, Mr. Dorian, uh, affiliated with Def Jam and everything. And so while we were there, it was my very first little CD, first thing I've ever done. And he asked Jason, he was like, yo, so what do you call him? Everybody was liking the music and everything. But it was like sitting there, we were kind of puzzled. I was in the main recording room playing on the grand piano, and they slid my CD in the computer. And you know what happens when you slide an unknown CD in the computer? It says unknown artist. So from that day on, I was unknown. Dorian looked up at Jason and was like, that's it. And Jason was like, yeah. And so everybody came running in the room to tell me that my name was going to be unknown. And I'm like, dude, that's like the wackest name I've ever heard in my life. But, they continued the pressure. Jason would go on to Photoshop and he would put unknown on everything with question marks. And I'm like, dude, this is not going to work. So I started to perform in Charlotte a little bit. There was a club in Charlotte called Empire, and I did some shows there. And my man who introduced me one night, and we have it on tape. The guy who introduced me that night came onto the stage, and instead of saying unknown, which I was still trying to get used to, he said, "Welcome to the stage, Mr. Unknown." And at that point, Jason's mind, it clicked. He was like, yo, that's it. And I'm like, no, that's not. We can't do that. And he was like, no, we're gonna do it. And I'm like, dude, let's not do that now. But needless to say, it stuck. And I remember the first time I went on SoundClick, and I put on there Mr. Unknown, and I waited. And I was waiting for one of you guys out there to come back and say, dude, that is ridiculous. But after all of these years, from fans from here to overseas, people in the Middle East, China, Japan, everybody who knows me over in the UK, Tahira, shouts out to you, girl. You guys accepted it. And even when I thought about a name change recently, you guys have rocked with me with the Mr. Unknown for so long that that's who I am. So Mr. Unknown is here. He's here to stay. But that's the story. It went from a name that I thought was a joke, that I really didn't like, that I didn't care to really put on anything that I had, but now it is what it is. So forever I'm gonna be Mr. Unknown, and I thank you guys for accepting me for that. So here at this camp, um, you know, I have to fight and earn every fan I get, everybody who comes through and supports what we do over here. I am forever grateful, forever grateful. So, from my heart, I thank you. And so now you know the story of how I became Mr. Unknown. Jason Barton, rest in peace, bro. I miss you, dog. Love you. I'm out, y'all. Love you.